Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. White men in America have always dropped the ball. Anything that they touch, they destroy it. And that goes for politics as well. Now, this politics thing is not about a political left or right or Democrat or Republican thing like they want people to believe in their snowball fight. This is about white men. They are all the same. They just like to go about their business a different way. Now, these guys, they have weird desires from, the big time stories with whoever it may be. We're talking from the federal, state, local, all the way down. These guys have very weird desires, and they often include these things in their jobs and politics. Okay? They can't help it. It's going to get involved. And a lot of things that they are involved in is crimes against small people. Now, we're going to talk about some local scene guys, right? The stories that a lot of people don't hear about on the mainstream, these guys got busted for doing these things right here. And I must emphasize busted because we're only talking about them because they got busted. Most of these guys are into something like this. Okay? So we're just going to go over 5 white local politicians who belong on the Mayo Wall of Shame. There are many more. I'm just going over 5, okay? In no order. We have a guy by the name of Bubba Copeland. This guy is a politician and a pastor. He was the mayor of a small town in Alabama called Smith Station, this guy, old Bubba Copeland. He was also the Baptist pastor at the First Baptist Church. He's got a wife, 3 children. Well, this dude, Bubba Copeland, while holding these important so-called powerful positions in the community that are supposed to be worthy of respect, he was exposed as leading a double life as a perverted, cross-dressing Instagram model. He had an Instagram and a Reddit profile that went by the name Brittany Blair Summerlin, a transgender curvy girl. He was very active, writing, transgender fiction and gender erotica, things like that on Reddit, all kinds of nasty stuff. He would post all kinds of pictures of himself that I can't show here. I can't go that far, but just you get an idea. And when you look at this guy right here, you see these pictures, there are people that are into that. What eventually happened to him is some conservative religious news outlet called 1819 News found out all about what this guy, Bubba, aka Brittany, was doing and what he was into. They confronted him, asked him about it, and he had to admit, he said, yes, I do this as a hobby. This is how I relieve stress. He couldn't take the pressure. He blew his beak off. Next, we have this sleazeball weirdo by the name of Wesley Dingus. Now, Wesley Dingus, he was the mayor of a place called Butler, Ohio. Now, what did he do? This guy right here was accused of entering the bedroom of an underage teenage girl who was staying in his home. Now, this girl, she got suspicious that somebody had been going through her belongings when she was out at school. So she set up a hidden camera in her bedroom. She recorded this guy, Mayor Wesley Dingus, entering her room on multiple occasions, sniffing several pairs of her underwear, including worn underwear, and touching his groin all over his clothing and rubbing her underwear on his groin and all kinds of weird, creepy stuff. This guy was charged with 2 counts of voyeurism under Ohio law. He pled not guilty, and a judge ordered him to have no contact with the alleged victim and to wear a GPS monitor while this case proceeds. Now, shortly after he got busted, he resigned as mayor of this town called Butler. Now, that wasn't his only legal issue. At the time that he was arrested for this voyeurism charge with doing this to this little girl's stuff, he was already facing a criminal charge for an unrelated incident in 2025, where they said that he struck a fleeing man with his vehicle. So he's caught up in that as well. Now, this voyeurism case and this creepy stuff that he did, they haven't reached the final verdict on that yet. That's still up in the air. Now, you may be thinking the same thing as me. What is a teenage girl doing living at Wesley Dingus' home? People, they not talking about that. I don't know why. Let me know if you find it. I haven't found why this girl was actually living with him. Some people say that she is a relative or something like that. But I am not sure why this teenage girl was living at the house with Mayor Wesley Dingus. Okay, people, now we taking it to the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, Northern Virginia area. But right here, we're going to the state of Maryland, College Park, Prince George's County. We have a Mayo monster, Skittles lizard by the name of Patrick Wohan. Now, in the year of 2023, investigators started looking into some of this guy's online activity after receiving a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They ran up in his crib. They found all kinds of stuff. All kinds of CSAM. You know what that is. Large amounts. Large amounts. And this guy was charged with 40 counts of possession of CSAM and 16 counts of distribution of CSAM. So he was into it. He was sending it around and everything. This dude's the mayor, Patrick Wohan. Now, a grand jury, they later expanded this case, and this guy, Patrick Wohan, pled guilty to 140 charges of just nasty stuff. We ain't even got to get all into it. Nasty stuff that involves small people. The outcome in November of 2023, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison and 5 years probation after his release, and he must register for 25 years. This next guy right here, Joel Bierman. People, we keeping it in the DMV, Prince George's County, Maryland, University Park mayor. Now, people, the guy that I just went over, Wohan, this guy, Joel Bierman, this University Park, they're right next to each other. Like they almost got a whole thing going on out there, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Prince George's County, Maryland, right next to DC, all those DC gentrify, you know how it goes. Well, in 2024, this guy, Joel Bierman, was charged after investigators found 45,000 files of suspected CSAM and evidence that he paid somebody overseas to produce explicit images of small people. In 2025, federal prosecutors indicted him on charges including production, distribution, and possession of CSAM. He pled not guilty, and this is a federal charge that's still pending. You see the kind of stuff these guys are into, y'all. These Skittles, these lizard, you know, they're pretty much all into that. Even if they have a wife. Now these guys are full-fledged rainbow flag. Joel Bierman and the other guy, Wohan, they're them guys that people try to say, these are the guys that they put in the sentence with black people and black struggle. These are those guys right here. Weirdos. You know, all of these guys are weirdos, but I'm just saying, like, let's go on to this next one. This is the last one right here, people. I'm getting nauseous. Too much, man. Louis Bauer Jr. Now, this guy, Louis Bauer Jr., is an example of an old guy that just got busted in 2026. This guy's a former mayor, okay, out of the state of Ohio. He was the mayor of a place called Rossford, Ohio, spot over near Toledo, okay? And he was just indicted in 2026 on multiple counts related to CSAM. It's ongoing. He has not yet been convicted. Now, this dude right here, right? He served as the mayor of this town from 1975 to 1991. He's 73 years old. He just got busted this year. So he's one of them guys that just got busted. This dude's been doing this nasty stuff way back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? Now, for this case right here, they look for his activities between August 11th and March 5th. August 11th, 2025 and March 5th. So in that small window, that's what he's just getting busted for. Could you imagine if he was getting busted for the stuff that he's been doing since the late 70s or even the 60s probably?
Also breaking at 4 o'clock, the former mayor of Rossford indicted by a Wood County grand jury.
Yeah, Louis Bauer has been charged with 11 counts of pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor. Back in March, we told you about a raid by investigators of his Perrysburg home. Now charges have been filed. In addition to those 11, he was charged with possessing criminal tools. Bauer was the Rossford mayor from 1975 until 1991. We'll get more details on the incident as they become available.
Now, when they ran up in this dude's house, they found 8 hard drives, 3 laptop computers, 1 desktop computer, 4 cell phones, 22 flash drives, 39 CDs, 2 camcorders, all nasty stuff, small people. And when they went in there, they say he was fighting hard. He wasn't trying to come up out of there. So he's been charged for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because of the struggle that he put up with these officers. He was fighting hard, they say. We don't even have a picture of this dude right here. Now, on May 21st of this year, he was indicted by a grand jury with 11, just look, all kinds of nasty counts involving stuff on the Ohio state level and all that other stuff. But this is still ongoing, people. He entered a plea of not guilty. They imposed bond conditions for him, saying that he cannot contact anybody under the age of 18 and no internet use except if authorized by the court. So he says that he's going to represent himself. And this is what's going on. It's still pending, people, still pending. So that's just a list, you know, small list, people. I can't take it anymore. You probably can't either. That's just 5 local guys. And if I did, actually, you can do this in one, you could create 5 in every state. You can do 5 in every state. You know what I mean? This is just a list of guys where I'm like, okay, well, you know, these dudes been in, you know, in the news a little bit, not too much or whatever. Something that people can go back and look up themselves. But white men in politics, it don't matter if they on this side, that side, right, left. This is what these guys are into. This is what a lot of the people who love them and go out and support them are into. A lot of times, that's their sole motivation for supporting them. This is American politics. Not caring about children, being involved in CSAM is as American as Chevy, racism, and apple pie. People, link in the description for my masterpiece, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. Also, link for the email list so that you know what the content is in case this goes somewhere. YouTube start doing their YouTube thing easy.